Alrighty. Alrighty, well, I think we're up and running here. Alright, back again with some more Pokemon Run and Bun. Continuing on with my current, my furthest attempt at a hardcore Nuzlocke of this game. And yeah, we're just picking back up where we just left off at. We're going through the rest of these erratic weather fights to make it to Pacific Town and to the Sky Pillar. We have 4 more fights left, 3 in the sun and one last one in the rain. So, yeah, I kind of want to get some progress going, so I already have this first fight prepped here. So, we can go ahead and get started with this fight here, because I want to get some progress going. Alright, Swimmer Zapator. Alright, so this is fight number 6 of the Erratic Weathers. This one is a sun fight, and this guy leads an Overquill with Explosion, Intimidate. But because the sun's up, we go to simply outspeed and one-shot with an Overheat here. Overquill goes down. This would always bring in the Talonflame. Perfect. Alright, and Talonflame outspeeds and shows that it could always one-shot with Flying Gem boosted Acrobatics. So I'm going to swap to my Aerodactyl to take the Acrobatics here. Fairly well, do like a third of my HP. Yep, so there's Acrobatics. And Talonflame is really fast, so I equipped a Choice Scarf on my Aerodactyl so that I could outspeed it and one-shot with Rock Slide. Alright, that goes down. This should always bring in Slurpuff next. Perfect. Yeah. The Slurpuff comes in because my Choice Scarf allows me to outspeed everything, and Slurpuff is the first thing that sees a slow KO. This is a Unburdened Slurpuff with a Fairy Gem, Dazzling Gleam. It also has Calm Mind, so I slightly pre-damaged Aerodactyl so that it guarantees he's a KO with Dazzling Gleam. Which will allow it to get its Unburden activated, but in this case it's perfectly fine. We're going to swap to Arcanine, which can take the damage pretty well here. So there's Dazzling Gleam, Fairy Gem boosted. So we eat that. Now it's doubled speed because of Unburden, so it outspeeds S. But Flare Blitz into extreme speed will always KO, so it'll most likely go for Psychic. It could also Calm Mind. Either way is perfectly fine. We'll just Flare Blitz into E speed for the KO here. And so Psychic. Special Defense drop perfectly fine. Alright, so now we can out-prioritize with E-Speed and take it out. Alright, so Surf Up goes down. This should always bring in Venusaur. Perfect. Alright, and this Venusaur, little scary, it's got Chlorophyll, so it's really fast. It's also holding a Focus Sash with Growth. So a little nasty if you let it set up. But right now it sees a guaranteed fast KO with either Earthquake or Solar Beam. So it's gonna go for a random move, either which is perfectly safe for us to swap to Dragonite into. We'll take any damage from this thing pretty well. Yeah, so there's Solar Beam. We quad resist that, so perfectly fine. And now, similar to the Slurpuff, we can KO this with a combination of dual Wing Beat into extreme speed as well. Because it's holding a Focus Sash, it could either attack with Weather Ball or set up a Growth. Either of which is perfectly fine. Ideally, I'd rather it actually attack, but either way would be perfectly fine. So we're going to start with dual Wing Beat here. Okay, so there's Weather Ball. Good, so that chunks it down. And now we could take it out with an extreme speed here. Oh, nice crit. Alright, so Venusaur goes down, and this should always bring in the Electivire. Perfect. Alright, and this is a Life Orb Electivire, so pretty damaging. It's gonna go for either Wild Charge or Ice Punch. So I'm gonna swap to my Excadrill. I'll be immune to a Wild Charge, and we could take an Ice Punch fairly alright. And I don't have to worry about potential freeze because of the sun. You can't get frozen if there's sun up, so we're perfectly safe to swap to Excadrill here on whatever it goes for. Yep, so there's a Wild Charge, perfect. And I also gave my my Excadrill choice card so I can outspeed and one-shot with Earthquake. Alright. So Electivire goes down. Last thing on this team is a Slowking. Down the rabbit hole, what's up, bro? Thanks for popping in the chat. Hope you're having a good day today. Alright, so Slowking comes in. And it sees that it can KO or highest damaging move with Flamethrower. So let me see here. So the best play here, I'm gonna first swap to my Infernape on the incoming Flamethrower. Alright, we'll take it pretty well. Appreciate the comment there, bro. Alright, so we bring in Infernape, so this will now bait in a Psychic, which will allow us to safely swap into my Single Strike Urshifu here. Alright, so now, at this point, Soaking is holding a Culver Berry, so it reduces the damage of Dark-type moves. So, 1 Wicked Blow won't KO, but 2 will. And I'm holding... It sees highest damage with Flamethrower still, but I'm holding a Raspberry in case of Burn, and we always live a crit, so we'll just outspeed 2-tap with Wicked Blows. So, do the first one. Here's the Flamethrower. Yeah, so we always live to crit. Had Raspberry in case of Burn, and another Wicked Blow just KOs. Alright, perfect. Very clean. Alright. We got another fight down. 3 more to go for this section. So let's go back and heal and save. Alright. So let's take a look at what the next fight's looking like here. I'm playing a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald called Run&Bun. It is it's currently considered the hardest custom-made Pokemon game, and I'm doing a challenge called a Nuzlocke, where any of my Mons fade in a battle, they're no longer usable. So that's why I see I currently have a death counter of 21, so that's how many Mons that I have lost so far up to this run. But this run has gone pretty far. I'm pretty close to the end. Getting to the 8th gym, and after that the Elite Four, so yeah, just streaming my attempt here, just showing off how uniquely challenging these battles can get. Giratina Strikes Back. I don't think I've heard of that one. I've played Pokemon Unbound. That sounds like a similar vibe. But yeah, I mainly play more of like the challenge ROM hacks. But yeah, I've dabbled around with a bunch of different ones. This one has definitely taken the cake as most challenging for sure. It's This run that I'm currently doing alone I've been on for already a few months now, so it's pretty interesting. It's like an example of how difficult Pokemon battles can really get, and like the upper limit of the challenge they can have. As case in point here, as I pull up this calculator. Alright, so let's take a look here. We have another singles battle in the sun. Leads to Komala, which we can deal with a couple ways. Let's see, I could use Infernape Lead again. But that might not be the best lead. I could go Arcanine. Just one shot with Flare Blitz. Arcanine would bait... Earthquake from Gliscor. Tyler, what's up, bro? Thanks for popping in the chat. Hope you're having a good day today so far. Let's see, so if Gliscor comes in for an Earthquake, I can swap to a few things. Let's see. I could emergency exit with Golisopod on an Earthquake. And then Starmie just outspeed one-shots with Ice Beam. Starmie would bait Solar Beam from Charizard. I could double swap into Aerodactyl here? Yeah. Aerodactyl can outspeed one shot, which would bait let's see, but that would bait Silvally, and it would have a chance to explode, so probably not the best. Let's see. Might want to... let's see. Let's see, I could think about using something other than Starmie. So what if I used Infernape? If I KO with Infernape, that would bait at full health would bait, looks like Gastrodon. I have a few options for that. Let's see. Gastrodon, if I pre-damage Infernape, that would guarantee that it won't go for Toxic on a switch. So... could swap to someone like Hydreigon. Let me see. Choice specs. So if I KO with Hydreigon, that would bait out from Marina Moonblast. To which I could... use a few things for this. So I could use Sneasler or Beedrill. Let's see. If I used Beedrill, I could KO with Poison Jab. This would bait out... This would bait out Charizard, though. For either Flamethrower or Flame Charge, which would... not be good if it went for that, because then... it would outspeed the next turn. But if I gave Assault Vest to Arcanine. Let me see. Let's see, what I... Yeah, I could potentially live that. And then that would bait out Silvally last, so that it can't explode. And I could just swap to Hydreigon for the KO. Let's see, I could also go Choice Scarf. Let me see, what would that do? Oh, but then I wouldn't outspeed the Charizard after +1. So, Assault Vest would be better. And I may want to level up Arcanine to the level cap here too. Because I should be able, with an Assault Vest... always live double crit. Let's see. 33.2 plus 66.1. Yeah, I should level up to the cap there, so I have at least a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so we start Assault Vest Arcanine, one shot Komala with Flare Blitz, bait Earthquake KO from Gliscor, emergency exit through Golisopod into Infernape KO with Overheat. Pre-damage to bait Slow KO Earth Power from Gastrodon. We go Choice Specs. Choice Specs Hydreigon to two-shot with Dark Pulse, which should always bait Moonblast. Yeah, this will show fast KO on Charizard and Silvally no matter what. So this would always bait Moonblast. Prim. We can just swap to Beedrill and KO with Poison Jab. This will bait either Flamethrower or Flame Charge from... I may need to consider Moonblast crit though. Moonblast crit would bring me down to 33.2. Okay, that would still never be Solar Beam. So we would be fine on that. We can just swap to Arcanine on either Flame Charge or Flamethrower with Assault Vest, KO with a Rock Slide, baiting Silvally last, can't explode, swap to Hydreigon on any move, and KO with Dark Pulse. So. Yeah, this looks pretty straightforward to me. So I think this should be good. So why don't we set this up here? So we need Arcanine. We need we're keeping Infernape. We need Golisopod. We need Hydreigon. We're keeping Aerodactyl. Well, I guess we don't need Aerodactyl with this setup here then. Yeah, I have actually an open team slot if I do this. Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, because we KO. Bait you, go you. Yeah, with this setup, it's basically a 5-mon fight. But I could keep Aerodactyl just in case. Let's see, I was actually pretty lucky that I didn't use my Citrus Berry in that last fight. Let's see, so for this we need Hydreigon. And we need What does sticky hole do again? Prevents items from being taken or switched. Oh yeah, so you can't knock off Gastrodon's Ringo Berry. So no point in trying to do that. Maybe instead of Aerodactyl, I can just bring... I can bring Dragonite as a backup. It walls Gastrodon pretty well. But we do need Beedrill. Alright, cool. Alright, and then for items, we need, let's see, Sparkle for Infernape. We need Assault Vest and Choice Specs. So let's go get those really quick. So let's equip that on Arcanine. And then we'll get the Choice Specs. Give those to Hydreigon. Alright. Let's go head back. Alright, and then I am going to level up Arcanine to the level cap now, and Beedrill to the level cap. So let me update that in the calc here. Blast. That lowered special attack, yeah. this should all be good. Alright, so then for pre-damaging, let me see where Felicipod's at. Felicipod should be fine on XP. I just need him pre-damage to... Let's see. 224 plus Earthquake from Black Score deals 34 minimum. So we'll pre-damage to 158 HP. Good. And then for Infernape, we need to guarantee Earth Power, we need to be at 216 HP. Alright, cool. And that should be all the pre-damaging we need. Assault Vest, no item, Charcoal, 216, Choice Specs, Vigilite. And I can give a Petra Berry to Dragonite just in case, but we're most likely not gonna need it. I think this is good. Let me just double check the calc one last time. Let's see. KU, bait you, go you, swap to you, KO with overheat, bait you. Bait you for Earth Power, go you. KO with 2 Dark Pulses, bait you, go you, KO with Poison Jab, bait you, go you, KO with Rock Slide, bait you, go back to you, KO Dark Pulse. Alright. Yeah, I think this should be good. So let's go ahead and head over there. That optional there is still very still spooky. Alright, so we went this way. So we fought you, so she should be the next fight. So let's go ahead and save. And triple check that I have everything. Assault Vest. Pod pre-damage 158. Charcoal pre-damage 216. Yeah. Just making sure there's not anything that I've missed here. But it doesn't look like it. Alright. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and do this here. Triathlete Zaya. Right, so she leads. This is another sun fight. She leads a Komala with a Chople Berry to reduce fighting type damage, but in the sun, Flare Blitz just simply outspeeds and one-shots this little baby Komala here. So we'll start off with a Flare Blitz. Komala goes down. This should always bait in Gliscor. Perfect. And Gliscor comes in, outspeeds and shows that it can always KO with Earthquake. So I'm going to swap to Felicipod, who's pre-damage so that I can get an emergency exit off. Perfect. Oh, nice crit. Perfectly fine though. So we'll emergency exit to bring in my Infernape for free. And then in the sun, we can simply outspeed and one-shot with an Overheat. Gliscor goes down, and at this HP, we should always bring in Gastrodon next. Perfect. Alright, and this Gastrodon has Toxic with Recover, so it wants to use that. It's also holding a Rindo Berry, so you can't one-shot it with a grass type move, and it's also got sticky hold, so you can't knock off the berry. But at this HP, Gastrodon sees a guaranteed KO with Earth Power, so he can never use Toxic. He always has to attack, so we're gonna swap to Hydreigon on the incoming Earth Power here. Perfect. Levitate over that, and now with the choice specs, we can outspeed and two-shot with Dark Pulse. I don't want to use Draco Meteor because I don't want to lower my special attack. So Dark Pulse two-shots. Ideally, we just get a flinch. Least ideally would be if it goes for Toxic, which it could do, but even if it does, it should be perfectly fine. I think it's 60-40 between Weather Ball or Toxic. Either which should be perfectly fine, but for fun, let's just see a flinch here. Alright, no flinch, but Weather Ball, again, perfectly fine. We eat that pretty well. Alright, so now we just take it out with a second Dark Pulse. So Gastrodon goes down. This should always now bring in Primarina. Perfect. So Primarina comes in, it's got Calm Mind and Leftovers. But right now it sees that it could always KO with Moonblast, because it's quad effective. So it's always going to go for that, and none of its other moves. So this is perfect move for us to swap into Beedrill, which we can take fairly well. It'll deal about half damage. Perfect, so Moonblast. Yeah, we eat that. I think that was a mineral. It's and then now we can just Mega Evolve and outspeed one shot with Poison Jab. Perfect. So Primarina goes down. So now it should always be Charizard to come in. Perfect. Alright, this is Solar Power Charizard in the Sun, so... And it's holding a Charcoal, so... pretty beefy, pretty strong. Right now it has 50-50 between Flamethrower or Flame Charge. And if it goes for Flame Charge, it'll raise its speed. But in this case, that's perfectly fine, because we're going to swap to Hamilton, who's quad resistant anyway, so Flame Charge would actually be more ideal here. But we'll take both attacks either way. Yeah, so Flame Charge. So this will deal very little, even with a crit. So he raises his speed, but again, it doesn't matter because he already outsped us anyway. And now it's gonna go for Solar Beam, but we're holding an Assault Vest, so we could take the Solar Beam pretty well, and we'll just one shot with Rock Slide. And if I had gone for Flamethrower into Solar Beam, double crit, we still would have always lived. So this just leaves a Silvally. And this is a Ghost type Silvally. It has Explosion, but because I baited it out last, he can't use it. So he can only attack. In this case, he'll just attack with a Ghost type multi-attack. So we can just swap back to Hydreigon, which we can take very well. Yep, so there's multi-attack. We eat that. And then now with the Choice Spec still equipped, we simply outspeed and one-shot with another Dark Pulse. Alright, really cool. Very clean. Alrighty. So now we just have 2 more fights left. Until we can get to Pacifilog. But the next one is a true double battle, so that one's probably going to take a little bit longer to prep for. But let's see here. Let's see. Yeah. Sis and Bro, Relly, and Ian. He's got a pretty powerful looking team there. So let's just start taking a look at this one here. And this one's still in the sun. So, let's see. So they lead Aerodactyl and Victory Bell. So I either want to try to take down the Aerodactyl first or the Victory Bell first. Let's see. Have like a Mimikyu here, which is a little annoying. Let's see. I could go for Sneasler. Sneasler Togi lead. Because Choice Band, close combat will outspeed take out the arrow. And then I could also take out the Cinder Ace. But then the only problem here is with the Victory Bell. Let's see. After 2 close combats, I'll be dead to the Victory Bell, and it outspeeds. I would have to switch Sneasler out at that point. But because I outspeed Aerodactyl, I can... I can fake out the Victory Bell on turn 1 with Togi as I KO the arrow, and then Spiky Shield on turn 2. So that would take out both Arrow and Cinder Ace. But then after that... Let's see. I could actually bait Sharpedo if I wanted to. I don't know if that would be good though. I probably want to bait Mimikyu. At some point, I'm gonna want to use Golisopod. This thing has disguise as well, so... Yeah, I could... Golisopod back into Togi to get another round of, to get another turn of Spiky Shield. Who would I swap? Let's see. Yeah, if I KO Pyroar with Sneasler, I would have to swap. Let's see, or actually, oh no, I know I need a. I could choice band, but or choice scarf. Let me see. Choice Scarf, unfortunately doesn't outspeed Victory Bell. maybe I could use Mega Aerodactyl. Let's see. Let's see, what if I... Yeah. So if I get Aerodactyl to the level cap, I would outspeed the other Aerodactyl. But I don't one-shot, so I can keep the arrow alive and one-shot the Victory Bell. But then I would have to bait Stone Edge, which means I couldn't use Scalicipod. I could still go for it. Dueling Beat takes out Victory Bell turn 1. That would bait random move Pyro Ball though, so I don't think that would be ideal. Yeah, probably not. I could give a choice. If I gave a choice Scarf to Sneasler, I could outspeed the Victory Bell, but then I wouldn't guarantee KO the other guys, so probably not worth doing. I think doing Sneasler Togi lead is probably going to be best here. With the choice band. Choice bands, close combat. I would just have to... So again, I can turn 1 fake out Victory Bell, outspeed 1-shot Aerodactyl, turn 2 bait, turn 2 bait Cinder Ace, Spiky Shield, and 1-shot with another close combat. After that, I'll be at -2/-2. Meaning that Victory Bell could also attack the Sneasler side. So... I would have to swap to something that could take those hits. I could go to like... I could go to like Gudra. Swapping to Gudra, and then I can Golisopod. But then the problem is that it's random who Victory Bell is gonna attack at that point. So if I try to go Golisopod, he could potentially get hit twice and die. So... could also go... if I go Iron Ball, I could bait Ursaluna instead of Mimikyu. That might be better. Then that would be a safer. That'd be safer for Golisopod. But I still don't like Victory Bell being able to go for a random move there. I may have to go Choice Scarf on Sneasler, which would not be ideal. Only Choice Scarf Excadrill outsped Victory Bell here. This one might take a... This one looks a little tough. I may need to take some more time looking at this. I also have work soon, so... I'll take a bit more of a look at this, but... Yeah, I may have to take down the Victory Bell side instead. There's a lot of... Let's see, what if I... with Sneasler... Go for Rock Slides, but it's not going to deal. The problem is that Cinderace has high Papa Berry, so... Let's see, 2 Rock Slides minimum, 64.9 times 2. Yeah. Mega Aerodactyl just barely doesn't outspeed this Cinderace. That's kind of unfortunate. I mean, I've been considering changing my Aerodactyl's nature for a while. It could be something that I do, but because if I change his nature to Adamant, he would outspeed the Cinderace. I could also bait other things. What if I used Omastar? With Mega Arrow. Let's see, I could potentially bait out... I can potentially bait out Cinderace later. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of time to fully cook this one up, so... I think I'm just gonna wrap up there for today. 2 fights done is good. 2 more fights, it's just this one's gonna take a bit longer to prep for, so... yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause there for now. But, appreciate anyone who stopped by to watch. I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll see everyone in my next stream.